All right, you're moving to the Huntsville area and you're looking for a great community to call home. Somewhere with affordable homes, great schools, easy commuting options, tons of shopping and dining nearby, but you don't want to be in the thick of the traffic. We call those places hidden gems. And there's no better hidden gem in the Huntsville area than Monrovia. Located just northwest of downtown Huntsville, today I'm going to map it out, show you what it's like to live there. So stay tuned as I show you everything you need to know about living in Monrovia. All right, let's dive into this map. So we're going to be checking out Monrovia here. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're a subscriber, welcome back. I do ask you go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you're looking to move to the Huntsville area. That way I can keep you up to speed on what's going on here, because that's the whole idea behind my channel. I want to keep you informed so you can make an informed decision when it's time for you to make a move. And subscribing to my channel is the best way for you to get that info. If you find this video helpful, hit that like button. And I don't ask for subscriptions because I'm looking to be the world's biggest YouTuber. No, it allows me to keep you informed. Also unlocks a few community options for me in YouTube that I've been using recently, like polls, blog updates, posting different types of links in the videos. So the more subscribers I have, the more of those kind of tools and community features I get access to. So that's my shameless pitch for today. So let's dive right in. Right here, we're going to see this green area. That's really Monrovia. Everything you see in gray is either Huntsville, Madison, or Harvest. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit, give you a little more granularity, because this throws a lot of people off because there's irregular borders here. So there's going to be communities and businesses in some of these areas that, if you were thinking about it in aggregate as just a location, well, all of this colloquially would be known as Monrovia. But in actuality, this is going to impact your taxes, your school zones, your municipal services, voting, even your utilities, because those are going to be considered parts of Huntsville. So I just want you to keep that in mind. I don't want to hammer it too much, but depending on why you're looking to move to the area, some of those factors may be important to you. And you need a local agent that really knows the difference between each area to guide you. Can't always go off of what you see on Google Maps, even though I'm using it in front of you now. And you also can't always go on what you see on the MLS. There's other ways to cross-verify that information to make sure it's accurate. So, all right, one of the first things I want to show you, this is really a largely residential area, and people that live here, they typically work Redstone Arsenal, Cummings Research Park, Downtown Huntsville, and other areas. So we'll see here, it's about 3:30 in the afternoon. It's about a 20-minute commute onto the Arsenal. Now, of course, depending on where you work on the Arsenal, you have to add a little time to that. If you were going to Cummings Research Park, you're looking at about 17 minutes. And if you were going to downtown Huntsville, you'd be looking at about 30 minutes. So we're just outside of rush hour, although it is starting to pick up. So I had to add 5 to 10 minutes onto that time for rush hour traffic. So for true rush hour traffic. So think, you're within 30 to 40 minutes, no matter where you work in those three areas. Some other areas people may work that live in Monrovia. Up north here, we have a Toyota motor manufacturing plant, as well as some other industrial areas. And then down here in Madison, especially along 565 and Greenbrier area, we have the Mazda Toyota manufacturing plant. I mean, there's thousands of jobs there. There's a lot of warehouses and industrial areas here. We have the airport, a lot of industrial there. And a lot of people reverse commute. They go out to Athens or down to Decatur. So you've got a straight line shot into Athens and not too bad getting into Decatur either. So just to give you some ideas of what's in the area there. So we're going to knock these little, directional things off, and we're going to take a look at the actual area. We're going to go to the satellite view. So you're going to see this is largely residential. And, when I mentioned in that intro, like, hey, it's a residential area where you're close to shopping, dining, everything, but you're not in the thick of the traffic. This is what I mean. The only people really driving through here are people that live here. The exception being Capshaw Road, because it goes almost all the way out to Athens, and there's a lot of residential down it as well. So in that case, you may have more people driving down this specific road, particularly during rush hour times. But otherwise, just going to be neighborhood traffic through here. All your restaurants and everything are located down here along Highway 72. There are a few located right in here. I know like there's a Lawler's Barbecue, a couple other barbecue joints. We'll kind of zoom in and see if we can get it to fill those in for us. So yeah, you'll see here, there's a few restaurants in here, but not much. We'll take that off. So really the bulk of your restaurants are going to be down here along Highway 72. So let's throw the layers off there. So you've got major shopping centers all the way down Highway 72. So let's zoom in a little bit. We'll kind of see what's shaking here. So in this area, you're just north of Cummings Research Park, and the guys and gals that work there coming out for lunch every day or for dinner right afterwards. There's a lot of restaurants that service them. So you have a ton right here, absolutely a ton. Just north of Highway 72, you do as well. And then once you cross over the parkway here, now you've got the brand new development of the MidCity district. You've got a lot of restaurants here, both new and existing. Really cool area, mixed use development, tons going on here. A lot of new businesses coming to the area. It's where a brand new Orion Amphitheater, you hear me talk about all the time. It's 8,000 seated amphitheater. Huge shows are already coming here, and the place just opened about 6 months ago. We've got REI, High Point Climbing. We've got Dave and Buster's. So let's drop in and take a peek what's going on here, because I think you're really gonna, be eye opening for you. This back here is Top Golf. It's been open for 7 years. Awesome place to go. Got REI. High Point Climbing back here, Wahlburgers, several other restaurants over here, and then you got Dave and Buster's back here in the background. And you'll see a ton of construction still going on here. Behind these buildings is some high-rise apartments going up. I say high-rise, they're not that tall, 4 or 5 stories. And let's see, what else we got over here? Oh, you see, whenever Google came through, this is when they were installing the superchargers for the Tesla superchargers. So just all kinds of development going on here. We're going to go back out to the overhead view, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can check it out. So brand new Trader Joe's is in here. The camp is here, really cool place. And on the weekends, this is where our farmers market's held, or one of them. Really cool place to stop in. You think farmers markets, veggies, all that, but you can get meats, cheeses. They always have like a lemonade stand. My kids love coming there. They're not going to get any of the real food, but they love little snacky type stuff. Across the way, you've got Best Buy, other restaurants and shops here. So really nice little commercial district here for, whatever you're looking for. You got Walmart nearby. You got Kroger, another Walmart up a little further up. You've got Publix. So tons of different shopping centers, for food, groceries, what have you. All really close by. So like if I, just type in groceries here, let's say we're gonna find several in the area. So like here, I'm gonna pop that off and show you over here. Like you've got Publix and Walmart like right across the street from each other. So you don't really have to get out of this area to, if you're a work from home type, or, you don't need to be out on the roads a lot, you don't have to leave these residential areas all that often. There's a lot here to do. And if you do have to leave it, you're talking 5-10 minutes max to get to the things you want to do. All right. So really cool there. So let's drop in and check out some of the neighborhoods. What's it like residential here? So this was all farmland. It was all really cotton farms for a long time. There used to be a lot of cotton gins and mills in the area. And over time, that land was sold off, developed into neighborhoods. So this has led to pretty flat neighborhoods. I'm not going to say it's flat as a pancake, but it's close. And those homes have been built over the years. So you have some 30, 40-year-old homes, and you have some that are just a couple years old. Again, you've got new construction over here, but that is part of Huntsville. So you don't want to be confused by that. And the same down in some of these other areas like Lanier Lake, Stonegate, those are all part of Huntsville too. So you're really looking mostly at existing homes in this area. That's kind of the bread and butter here. And it's going to be everything from like patio style homes with small backyards to more traditional, maybe, say quarter acre to half acre size lots to homes with acreage, several acres. And of course, price is going to depend on the age of the home, the size of the home, how much acreage it has. So here's some of those properties with acreage. So this home happens to be set a little closer to the road than usually what I see with acreage, but there's actually a fair amount of equestrian property out here too. So these guys just look like they like large lawns, and they're welcome to them. I don't want to cut that in August, but you will find a fair amount of equestrian property out here as well with some of these larger lots. Like I bet we're going to find some like right here. Yeah, so you see these fenced-in pastures. And then look here, we've even got horses in the shot. So, these are going to be more equestrian type properties. And when I say equestrian, these are people that keep horses, not necessarily have horse track and, big barns and stalls. We're not talking about 20 plus acres. We're talking 5 to 10 acres over in this area, maybe. But it's a great place to live back off the road. Now you'll see there's not a ton of mature trees in this area, and that is because these homes are 25 to 35 years old, maybe younger in some cases. So this was all cleared land. It was either pasture or farmland. And the trees, they just haven't had time to grow back to be mature, or they're ornamental trees. They're never going to get that big. So a lot of people that call me wanting to move to Huntsville, they're looking for acreage. When they get here on this west side of town, they don't realize this acreage was all farmland. It was all cleared, and it doesn't have that seclusion that you may be looking for, where you can't see your neighbors. I know right now these houses are hard to see; they're buried back there, all that. But come fall and winter, these 3 or 4 trees between the road and the house, they're going to be bare, and you're going to have no problem seeing that house. They're going to have no problem seeing their neighbor. So if you're looking for something with true seclusion, if you're looking for mountain views, water views, you're mostly looking at the east side of Huntsville, not the west side where we're at now. I'm not going to say that's exclusively so, but predominantly so. And we got another couple of horses hanging out in the picture here. So yeah, so that'll give you an idea of like kind of acreage over here. So we're going to back out. We'll go look in some of the more normal sized neighborhoods, kind of more typical what you're going to find here. So let's see. Drop in here. Oh, this is probably one of those ones that was actually in Huntsville. Let me back out real quick. Oh yeah, that's Ashton Springs. So yeah, that's a newer Huntsville development. So see, it even got me not knowing. Here we go. Very typical of the area. Red brick home, single story, 2 story, and even some 1.5. 1.5 typically means there's either a bonus room or a bedroom upstairs or both, but not a lot of square footage upstairs. But very typical to see, regardless of whether it's a 1.5, 1 story, or 2 story. Most of this area, the owner suite is going to be on the main level. And that's throughout much of Huntsville. You'll see here really manicured lawns, landscaping around the front. Some trees are a little older, but a lot of just kind of ornamental style trees. A lot of fenced in backyards. Side entry garages are really common in the area, although front entry is not uncommon. Predominantly brick homes over here. When these homes were built, land was so cheap in Alabama, like you could really, do full brick and it didn't cost that much. It's a little different nowadays with the cost of building materials going up. But I know, like when I sold homes in Northern Virginia, we only did a front facing brick facade. We did not do a whole brick home just due to the cost. If a house was already going to cost 800,000 or 900,000, and this was 5, 6 years ago, if we slap brick all the way around it, now it's a $1.2 million house, and in a neighborhood that wasn't designed for that. You will see some mixed siding on some of these homes as well. Bonus rooms are really common, especially on single story homes. So a lot of people like that, especially kind of post COVID, right? People, their kids are home a lot more. They want a separate space for them, or they themselves want an office space. And you'll see like some of these neighborhoods have HOAs, some don't, some that do are fairly lax. So I know like there are HOAs in the area where this guy would get dinged for having his camper here where people could see it from the road. Obviously, either he doesn't care or that's not a problem in this specific community. So that's something you always want to look into when you're buying in a community is there an HOA? What are their covenants and restrictions? And do they fit your lifestyle and your needs? Because Alabama, does attract a certain quality of buyer that doesn't really want to be told what to do a lot. At the same time, we have some really nice high-end communities that we don't want people to trash up. So we want to find what's the right fit for you. Here's another camper here. So it kind of gives you an idea that this community is pretty lax on those kind of things. So I would say that is a bread and butter community for the area. A mix of single level, 2 story homes, decent sized lots without being like huge. Here's another nice little community. I see several of these guys have pools from the aerial view. Now these homes look a little newer, not brand new, but newer. And we see like an undeveloped lot there. So that's really cute. Little sidewalk coming in, a really cute driveway with it probably cost a pretty penny to do nowadays, but it is nice. You'll see they've got 3-car garages. They have these kind of friends and family entrances you see here. So if you're taking the dog out for a walk or whatever, and you don't have to open the big garage door, you don't have to. 3-car garages are really common in the area, and for storage. Mind you, they've got 3 cars parked out of here on a boat, right? So you're thinking, why'd you get a 3-car garage? Well, they're using it for storage because we don't have a lot of basements in the area. Not to say that we don't have any, but we have very few. Now, another thing that's common with these, here's a perfect example, is to have a bonus room over the garage. So this could be a fake window and nothing above it, but it's really common for builders to put a bonus room above that. Slightly less common to be a bedroom or something else. And the reason being, typically this wall and doors are not insulated because they don't touch the inside of the house. You'll have insulation in the floor and the roof and any part that touches the home, but that room's going to be hotter in the summer, colder in the winter. So nobody really wants their bedroom to be like that. There's a couple solutions for it. You could have a damper system where it directs more airflow into that room, or you could put it on its own AC unit, being an external unit or a ductless internal unit. But it's really common to see that in the area. Because once again, people need more space because we don't have the basements. So you'll see these are all decent sized homes. I would imagine these are all probably running between 2,500 and 3,500 square feet. This might even be close to like 4,000 square feet. And these homes do back to mature trees, right? Like we see the mature trees back here. So, like I was saying earlier, while a lot of these conform to kind of that former farmland, not everything does. So, I don't want to paint with too broad a brush. And it looks like they may even have some lots that are available to build in here, or maybe the community's holding on to that for some kind of like green space for people. But you'll see that's fairly common throughout the area. Um, you got some major east-west roads here. Blake Bottom Road, Douglas. Down here you'll have Capshaw. So these are all going to run you east-west, and then you have some north-south roads as well. It's like Jeff Road here, Indian Creek Road, Waltriana, which is more over in the Madison part of the area, but kind of right on the edge of what's Monrovia. So you have ease of commute regardless of where you're going here. You just got to get out of the neighborhood and get on one of these major east-west or north-south roads to get going. So a lot of different communities, but like I said, most of them are going to seem pretty similar. I think this one's going to be a little different though. Let's drop in and take a look at this one. So you'll see these homes are much tighter together, and these are probably duplexes going by the garage. So let's see if I can get over to another street view and back out and go over one street for that. Yeah, well, we got to look at the front here. I dropped it right on garages again, didn't I? All right, here we go. So this will give us a sense of what we're looking at here. So over here is probably like really tight together single family homes and duplexes. So duplexes aren't super common in Alabama, but in Huntsville, they're more prevalent, especially over the last, say 10, 20, 10, 15 years. They've become much more prevalent. So that's what we're seeing here. So a lot less landscaping to maintain. As a matter of fact, a lot of times in these types of communities, part of your HOA or condo fee or what have you, the yard's actually maintained for you. So we'll see these are smaller lots, considerably smaller than what we were just looking at. So less maintenance, probably less cost, when it comes to building in these types of communities or living in them. So just give you a sense, right? Like, so you have these smaller patio style homes, duplexes with very small yards, almost like a courtyard. With the rear entry garages, there's almost no rear yard to take care of. Then you have those quarter acre to half acre kind of typical residential communities, red brick, single and 2-story homes, 1.5 stories. And then we have the larger acreage type properties. There's still a little bit of farmland here. We've still got a little bit going on. So I don't know how much longer those guys will last, but, God bless them, and hopefully they keep doing it. We don't need to bulldoze every bit of dirt in the area, but, I don't know. They may sell it to a developer sooner rather than later. So that gives you a good overview of like the residential area. So we've got the great shopping and dining, the easy commutes, the residential area. And something I want to make clear to you guys, if there's a neighborhood you see on here or one that you've seen online or something like that, I haven't done a video tour of, but you want to see it, it really interests you, I have a ton of people who reach out to me on the side via text, email, or phone call, say, hey, I'm moving there in 6 months. This is a neighborhood I'm really interested in. Can you go do a video tour for me? And I'll do those private video tours, no problem. And in some cases, even like apartments or like rental communities where like, hey, it's going to be a year before we buy. We need somewhere to live between now and then. I'll do the same thing for those. As long as you plan on working with me as your agent, I'm happy to get out and do that for you. So always hit me up and let me know. Once again, if you see a neighborhood in this video or any other, or if you're just, want to see one that you found online, let me know. I'll go check it out for you, and I'll give you the details on what's going on in there, what average price points are, and get you a better sense of what's going on in the area. So appreciate you guys watching. It's really kind of you to come on. In the comments section, let me know if you find this style of video helpful. It takes a lot of time for me to get out and shoot video. I'm not a great videographer. I'm a much better realtor. And so I can get a little more of these area tours and neighborhood tours accomplished by doing these types of map tours. So when you drop comments below or you answer in the polls, that helps me really determine what direction to take the channel, because I know these things. I'm not doing these videos for me. I'm doing them for you. And I want to know what information you need to make those informed decisions. And while I can base a lot of it on past clients I've worked with or people that I'm actively talking to now that are moving in the next month to 6 months, I want to know what you're looking for specifically so I can make those videos to help you out. So once again, thanks for watching. Contact information always in the description below. And I look forward to talking to you guys next week.